Okay, first I would like to share a quote from textile artist Sheila Hicks, whose work I find very inspiring and which fits well with the background of the conference in general, I think. And as it is an online conference and we are coming together from many countries and backgrounds. In all cultures around the world, textile is a crucial and essential component. So if you start with a thread, you're halfway home. Since I'm an artist dealing with visual processes and my works are visual nature, I would like to present my artistic approach by showing some selected works. Before doing so, however, I would like to say a few introductory words. Hidden layer in written and spoken language, such as anagrams and palindromes, as well as words or word combinations that create new contexts of meanings through the arrangement of letters, capture my attention and lead me to my artistic works. These are moving between typography, writing, image, and structure, and deal with relationship between visibility and readability, appearance and disappearance, form and content. The title of my talk, Thread, contains the word thread as well as the word read. Since these words are pronounced differently, the similarity becomes visible when reading or looking, but not when pronouncing the word thread. So now we are kind of already in the middle of the subject of my artistic practice on different levels. The combination of the words thread and read as thread brings together two essential groups of my work. On the one hand, these are filigree net-like objects consisting of chains and thread. And on the other hand, partly large format silk screen prints on fabrics, the written images. Both groups of works are based in different ways on a study of connections and the creation of fabrics, textures, or patterns, and the displacement or reinterpretation of the source material. For the structure of my contribution today, I will use the warp and the weft, or as I just learned, woofed method of weaving as a guide, showing examples from both approaches within my artwork in turn. So we will jump from large-scale works to very filigree structures and back again, discovering similarities and differences between the two groups of works, and finally recognizing how they fit or belong together. And I'm excited to see if something like fabric will emerge at the end. So first is the diptychon I Saw, I Was I from 2019. It consists of a silk screen print of black handwriting on white fabric and a print of black writing on black fabric. I Saw, I Was I is a palindrome. You can read it in both ways, back and forth. The words are handwritten and then silk screen printed on the fabric. The repeated application of the constant screen creates a uniform in the overall pattern, despite the movement of the individual letters. On the one hand, the sentence dissolves in various repetitions on the image surface into a pattern that does not necessarily have to be read or understood. Rather, what is written can be experienced as visually and also physically through the size of the letters. So before showing the next image, I want to say a few words about the body of work of the nets. The nets form a steady part of my artistic work since 2017. I realized these pieces by hand, and in different ways of connection, pieces of chain are knotted with nylon threads and form net-like wall objects. These objects are attached to the wall at 2 points with a distance of around 10 centimeters. The chain material follows the gravity. In contrast, the threads form some kind of color fluff, yet are nothing less than that what holds their shape together. The following example will show how much the different ways of linking points between the two materials, chain and thread, has on the shape and inner structure of the individual work variants. This has finally led to some serials variation within the body of works, which, despite the use of the same material, have surprisingly differently shapes and characteristics. Net floating down the river 1 from 2023. Silver and gold fine link chain sections are each attached at one point to a circulating chain and fall freely downwards with gravity. The resoluting texture of the surface is characterized by the varying sizes of the eyelets of the gold and silver chain strands and behaves according to the viewer's point. So the shape and the surface intertwine here. The one causes at the end the other. On the left side of the image, you can see the silk screen printing on fabric from 2019. Sorry, 2019. Here, in contrast to the previous written image, I have used an existing font. On the image surface, the word "your" is spread in lines in a moving rhythm. Due to the slightly offset of the Y, both the word "your" and the word "our" can be read. The screen printing on the right side is showing the work "new" from 2019. In capital letters, the word is arranged in a straight regular black and white pattern and attached to the wall upside down. By the rotation, the word becomes readable as man as well. So next image is showing some works of the series Net Thread. This variation has chain strands falling freely downwards, as well as strands connecting across. It is basically many small squares knotting into one large square. The square slips out of shape due to the gravity and its bend. The colored threads lift in all directions and creating fluffy patches of color. These are like the first example of the nets, depending on the viewer's point of view, looking from the side as a more or less closed surface, looking from the front as an airy fabric. Here you can see a detailed view of the work Net Thread Red Purple from 2020. You Make Us. I realized the work You Make Us for an exhibition project of the Little Criminals in Berlin in 2021. Little Criminals is an exhibition series showing current positions that use typography as a medium of artistic exploration. Since 2019, these exhibitions take place in public space. The layers of lettering, the background, and the resulting grid flow into each other. The letter U represents you, the form and forms part of the word us. The rhythmic sound of you and us seems to echo once again from the billboard in the public space. Net Thread Stretch Variation, Peach Pink. The stretch in the title already says what makes this variation different to the other nets. The chain strands of the subgroup are knotted together like fishing nets. This creates a fabric that can be stretched open. It is under a kind of tension and therefore contracts at the points that are not tensioned. And the next image is already the end of my contribution. It shows the two-parted piece See Seek and See Seek Speak and focuses on seeing, searching, and speaking. By shifting individual letters, the words see, seek, and speak, arranged in multiple repetitions, visually flow into one and another. revealing surprisingly similarities, and a batik color layer is added to the wordplay, opening up space for the imaginary and the chance.